Hey, this is Peggy at Headshots by Peggy, and we are back for part 2 with Frank Collison.
You look pretty gangster.
Pretty gangster.
Part 2.
Part
We had
2.
so much to say. Well, I came in here and I said, you know, I don't think anyone wants to hear more than 30 minutes, and that's enough. She said, well, we'll divide it into 2 parts. So if you're here for part 2, I guess part 1 was interesting enough that you came back.
It was pretty awesome, I'm sure.
Stay tuned. There's more excitement in part 2.
Which I think is a unique situation.
Yeah, I mean,
Good or bad.
I admire actors who get socially, and I consider myself politically and socially active, but I mean, no one's inviting me to speak, but you know, I just consider myself a citizen. And but if you're at that level where you will draw people by showing up at a political rally, I think it is really contingent on you to be very well educated about it.
Yeah.
Because if you're going to represent, you better be representing.
Know what you're representing.
Know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Because actors are dismissed as being flakes anyway. So you know, you better know what you're talking about, and you better be really committed to it. Otherwise, it's hot air. It's not taken seriously.
So what piece of advice can you give people that are starting out in the industry?
Get training. And, as I said, get interested in other things as well. Don't define yourself strictly. I mean, yes, you have to work and get training in the skills of acting. And if you, I am rather eclectic about it. I couldn't teach acting because I really don't know what it is exactly I do. But I pick and choose, or I pick something from Uta Hagen, something from another teacher, and whatever works for me. And I also, I think, watching good acting and see a lot of theater. I recommend doing theater, and I know there are actors who want to get, I've heard the tendency now for acting teachers in this town in LA is the students are too intent on getting hired and famous. The only teachers they're interested in doing, I hope I don't get in trouble for this, is they'll go to classes taught by casting directors. Now at the bottom of the little thing that you get, it'll say these so-called classes taught by casting directors is this class is for informational purposes only, no guarantee of hiring, which I think is semi-bull. You may learn some things in a class like that, like don't shake the casting director's hand, come in, show up on time, prepared, blah, 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 all the stuff you need to know, those skills, because auditioning is a separate skill.
Yeah, exactly.
But the reality is you're there because this person is a casting director, and they may or may not know how to work with actors.
Right.
So get with a good teacher, and you'll know right away, I think, that who's good, because you talk to other actors. Who's a good acting teacher, and do theater. And I think that the transition from theater into film isn't as I didn't feel it was as jarring as I thought it would be.
Yeah. I know, Merrick did theater in the past, and then he didn't do theater for several years, and now the last year he's been, with the road, and it's been, for me on the outside, I can see, because it's a whole different process, and it's just, even getting ready to audition for a play, it's a whole different process than getting ready to run in for a 10-minute, quick audition. It's and I think it mentally and it stretches him a little bit, and it gets you out of that rut to where you get excited, and as a photographer sometimes I have to do something besides headshots to get out of that rut, to remember that I love what I do. And I think as an actor, anybody that's creative, that makes money being creative, from time to time needs to branch out and remember why they love doing this, and
Yeah.
fall in love with your craft.
I like to go back to theater when I
Yeah.
can. I'm not doing it as much.
Now, I watched you do a Common Ground, which was,
Little crawl here, Common Ground.
yeah,
It's a thing that's done at the Road Theater where people write pieces on their own. And
present.
I forget what the cue for it was. It was something, write about something significant in your life. I
Yeah.
think. I really enjoyed that.
I enjoyed watching your piece.
Yeah.
That was.
It was very challenging. I hadn't, first of all, you're there on your own for 10 minutes, and it's very personal. It was a very personal piece. It was about my father, who was a World War II veteran on one side, me in the middle during the Vietnam War and not wanting to serve in that war, and then my son, who is going to be a Navy pilot, and all my feelings about that.
Yeah.
So it was very personal. I really, really liked doing that. Probably like to do it again.
I think as an actor, when you get involved in stuff, just like you said, live your life. But remember why you're doing this. Remember why, when you're trying to figure out where your next paycheck's coming from, remember why you're doing this, and you're not, sitting at a bank or sitting at an office.
Yeah.
This is something you love and you're passionate about. Always keep the flame alive, I think. You've had this, you don't know anything else. I've had a camera in my hand since I was a little kid too.
Yeah.
It's something that I don't know. I don't know what life would look like without it. I would imagine you feel like you don't really know what life would look like without acting in some capacity.
At one point, I was touring with this theater company, and this woman that I was madly in love with didn't leave me. She went for another guy. And I said, I'm going to show her, and I went to the bookstore and I got the MCAT preparation book because I was going to be a doctor, which was what my dad was thinking of doing before he went into theater. And that lasted about 15 minutes.
Yeah.
But it was almost the opposite for me, is where you hear people saying that they struggled to convince their parents that this was a good thing to do. I'll go to LA, I'll be an actor, the reverse for me
They
was,
were like, of course.
my dad was saying, he said to me at one point, now you can go on and you can do what I never got a chance to do. And I went, whoa. No, Dad, I'm not living your life. I'm living my life and defining it different. But, I don't know, really at this point there's nothing else I know how to do.
Yeah.
But I want to say that I just consider myself a craftsman. I consider myself like a carpenter who shows up and somebody says, we need some new cabinets here. And I go, okay. And I can do that. And so I'm given a role and I look at it and I go, okay, I can do that. And I don't really think, as much as I have fun when someone recognizes me on the street, I really wish that people would go up to their child's 6th grade teacher and say, oh my God, I know you. You taught my daughter long division. Can I take a picture with you?
Exactly.
Wouldn't that be wonderful? Or, oh my God, you stitched up my son's foot when he fell off the skateboard. Oh, you're an incredible doctor.
Yeah.
Can I get your autograph? Wouldn't that be great if people respected other professions the way they get excited about actors?
Yeah.
It's fun, but it's not really, I don't think we're worthy of that kind of adulation.
Yeah.
I mean, we do stuff that a lot of people see, but, there's a lot of great work that people do every day in offices and outside and on the streets, and no one asks for their autograph.
Yeah, that's true. Speaking of doing things and teachers, you read to 3rd graders, right?
Yeah, it's the highlight of my week. It is. I mean, and it's interesting. I was thinking about that. I've been doing it now for 4 years, and I have lost it. When I say lost it, I don't know. Non-actors know what that means. I've broken down when reading a book. I read a book It's one book I read it every Christmas, and it gets to me every time. And the kids saw that I was crying, and I don't ordinarily do that. I'm pretty. Well, my wife would disagree, but she says, "You'll cry at anything. You'll cry at the news, for God's sake." But in front of the kids, and but I really enjoy it. I enjoy picking out the stories, and they're such a good audience. They're a tough audience, though.
Yeah.
But it keeps me sane, and that's another advice. If you're not acting, look. My life is unstructured. I don't know, what I'm going to do from day to day. So I have to create a structure, and one of those things is I'm going to read to these kids, or I used to volunteer for Habitat for Humanity, or I know I'm going to go gardening, or for God's sake, I'm going to go to the gym every day or 6 days a week, and I'm going to work out because these are my tools here, and if I don't take care of myself, I recently had to do a thing that there was a stunt guy there who was going to double me, and the director wanted me to do it, to get shot in the head with a bullet and get banged against the wall, and I had to be in shape to do that, otherwise, so stay in shape, don't smoke, don't drink.
Yeah.
And, but, have a life outside of what you do as an actor.
Yeah. I think the more you get involved in things, I completely understand what you mean about not having a structure, because I work when I have appointments.
Yeah.
And sometimes last minute, my appointments change, and, so my life's very, very fluid as far as, when I do what.
Yeah.
And so there are certain things that I do every day at the same time, just because that keeps me kind of balanced. It kind of keeps me like, okay, these are the things that are important, these are the things that we do every day, and work isn't that, work isn't the thing that I do, on a 9-to-5 basis. It's different than most, generally people work on a regular basis and do their other things, when they can, so.
I actually, and maybe I'm being romantic about it, envy people who know what they're going to do every day, and they're going to show up and they're going to get their job done, and they do their job, and then they go home and
they can forget it.
It's done. I mean, when I was doing that show for 6 years, I enjoyed the routine of it.
Yeah.
Started with one kid and ended with 3 by the end of the show. So it was a good gig, and I enjoyed the camaraderie of.
You probably
people.
got really close.
Got close with not only the actors, but in some cases even more so with the crew, because they're there every day. And one of the thrills of working on that show was Johnny Cash and his wife June Carter Cash came on the show, I think 3 or 4 episodes of it. And he'd bring his bus, the JC1, big black bus, and June would show us the bus. She's like proud of the bus, and come on in, look, oh yeah. And so I got to talking to their driver, and we became friends. And he said to me one day, he says, "You don't seem like an actor. You're good people." And I said, that is the nicest thing that anyone's ever said to me, is, as an actor, as an actor who doesn't seem like an actor. Because there's so many things that people say about actors that are negative. They're self-centered, they're vain. I'm all those things.
Yeah, I was like, well, yeah, but you can still be good people.
But no, I mean, I know those, I'm actually an introvert too, surprisingly, because I don't like having my headshot taken. I'd be a tough customer for you.
Yeah.
You'd earn your money.
I was actually going to talk to you about that now that we're on camera here. I think you should let me take your headshot. What do you think?
I like to get it done as infrequently as possible. Laura has it done seems like every 10 minutes she's having new headshots done. But
well, you know us women.
we
change
I quite
our
honestly,
hair.
I do not like having my headshot done.
I get that a lot.
From guys. I don't know.
It's such a stressful thing, because it has to be perfect. It has to look like you. but you don't want to admit that looks like you all the time, and
Do I really?
is this going to work? Is
I
this
really
going to
look like that?
It's, people come into the studio so stressed, and working with me, getting headshots is different than working on, on set. It's a whole different thing, and so
Because I don't know what I
get
want
that.
when I come in.
Yeah.
I mean, I confer, this is advice for actors, if you're going to get new headshots, talk to your agents.
Absolutely,
And
because
say,
agents hate everything.
What is it you want? What do you want? Because I have to redo my demo reel, and again, that's like pulling teeth for me.
Yeah.
But I have to look at what is it that what I think is good work that I want to show, but also what is it that I'm going to get work in. And that's another adjustment. If you go from theater into film, I was playing dads in my freshman year in college. You come here and it's like, if they want a left-handed Lithuanian juggler, they'll find one.
Yeah.
So, you're going to be in a much narrower category. So one of the things, and I've wondered about is, because, people complain about typecasting, but if you're being cast, like after I did Oh Brother, I said, oh great, now I'm all going to do is play hillbillies. And yeah, I got called in for hillbillies. But I know I'm capable of more.
All right.
My agent may know it. My theater friends know it. But as far as people in film, they may just know me as the last thing they saw me in. So can you, in your headshots, create a look that you can add into your repertoire? So you see a role and you say, I don't know if they're going to, I want my agent to submit me for this, but I don't know if they're going to go for that because that's not the way they see me. But I got this headshot, or I've got this clip that's sort of unusual, not a lot of people saw it, whatever it is.
Right.
Because I did this show recently, I filmed in Chicago, and it's going to air soon. It's on Fox, and it's called Proven Innocent. And I don't know how much I'm supposed to say about it, but the important thing of the role was that the character changes mid-show. Not only his looks, but his demeanor, because it's what is asked of him. So it's essentially almost not like Jekyll and Hyde, but it's an opportunity to show, yeah, I can play this guy over here, and then this guy over here. It's the same person, but I'm definitely going to put that on my demo once I can. But, when you get those opportunities, and I think sometimes actors will take roles. I took a role in a small film that filmed in Montana. I wanted to go to Montana, but also it was a dad. And I hadn't played a lot of dads. And he was a good guy. He wasn't slashing anyone with a knife or being homeless or being a hillbilly. He was just a dad.
Yeah.
And he had a daughter that he loved. And I so related to that that I immediately said, I don't care if it pays nothing. I'm going to do it because I want something from this to show when I get an opportunity to audition for a role. Hey, look at this.
Yeah.
I can do a dad.
Exactly.
You may not believe it, but here's the proof.
Yeah. Exactly. And that's tying this back to headshots a minute. You kind of led me into this, so I'm gonna take advantage of this.
Yeah.
That's exactly it, because if you don't have, like Merrick, he's always the doctor, the attorney,
the cop.
He's the cop. He's but his manager's like, how about something in a t-shirt? How about a tight t-shirt and kind of show off a little bit, and
Is his
and
manager
give a different...
gay?
She's a female.
Oh, okay. Oh, well.
No. She keep my
How about
eyes on
something
her.
without the shirt?
No. But
yeah. I've never been asked to do that. Although, no, I'll tell you later.
But and that it's because he can play other roles, but all of his headshots show him as a doctor, attorney, cop, and so we kind of stretched it a little bit and did some different looks at and freshened up the attorney doctor ones as well, and we had 2 full most people aren't going to hire me to do 2 full days of shooting, but we went to a couple of different locations and here in the studio, and really got what. Some good stuff for him, but it's really important, and that was one of the things she was saying is, yes, they're going to see you in the last thing that you did, but you show them this picture, and if it catches
Yeah.
their eye, then, you know, they're still gonna,
Yeah.
because most of these, you know, the casting directors, you know, he auditions regularly,
Yeah.
they know who he is, but maybe they didn't think about him
Yeah.
in this light, so.
Yeah.
So variety, and if you get the
Yeah.
chance to do, even if it's a student film, but
Yeah.
you can use it for your role, if it's gonna be a good clip.
Yeah, I mean,
You
I
know.
consider myself a utility player, to
Yeah.
use a baseball term. For those of you who don't know baseball, utility player is someone who can, you know, can play second base, outfield. And I'm reliable, and I'll show up, and I won't bump into the furniture. No, I mean, seriously, Laura told me, I think, a story, I don't think it was Laura told me this story. Some guy is doing it, he did a great audition. This is coming from the people that were there auditioning him. Great audition. And he's getting ready to leave, and he turns to them and goes, "See you on set." And he left, and they all go, "What an asshole."
Yeah,
What's the point of that story? Being, not being a problem.
yeah,
They want to know you're not going to be a problem. We're working with this guy for a week. We got a really tight shooting schedule. Or we're working for this guy in a series. We want to know he's not going to be a problem.
yeah. And I
Oh, shit,
think,
you know.
I always tell people, just be nice, be a good human.
Yeah.
I think that goes a long ways.
Yeah. That's what I try to do.
Well, I clearly think you're a good human, that's why I asked you to come hang out
I
with
came
me.
for validation. That reminds me, I'll leave you with this story. This is a story about how you cannot judge what happens in the audition room on films and television. So I went in for this movie. I won't spoil the punchline by saying the movie, not that it matters. Tony Scott, God rest his soul. Tony Scott, right across here. Pretty notorious director, Ridley Scott's brother. And it's called back, and there's about 20 people in the room, big room. And I do the piece, and then he hands me a one line on a piece of paper, and he says, "Say this line." So I say the line, and then he turns away from me to the people behind him and says, "You know, it takes a certain kind of actor to say that line, and you're not it. So get the fuck out of here."
Oh.
And I go, "Good luck on the project." And I go out to the hall, the reception area, to get validated, my parking sticker validated. The door flies open. Tony Scott comes out with a Polaroid camera, goes, takes a picture of me, slams the door, and I have an offer before I get home.
Wow.
He was messing with me.
Yeah, he just wanted to see what you were going to do.
So let that be a lesson to you. You just never know. You go in, you do the best you can. You're prepared. You're honest, and the rest is up to the audition gods, I guess.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed having you on here.
Thanks. It's fun.
Thanks
It's fun.
for-
I haven't ever done one of these. I was actually kind of scared to do it because
I am pretty intimidating.
I-
You know, I have been recognized in a ladies' bathroom before.
for what?
For this vlog.
Oh, really?
We
Oh,
were
good.
we were at an acting thing, and yeah, I was just there with Merrick, and I went to the bathroom, and this lady goes, "Oh my God, you're that lady that does the vlogs," and I go, "Yeah, I am." And this women will appreciate this because you know.
Yeah.
This lady opens the stall door and looks out to see who I am. She says, "I watch your vlog too." And I came out and I sit down next to Merrick and I go, "So you've been recognized tonight?" Because I was.
That's
So
great.
yeah, this is a pretty famous vlog here that you're. I think
I
at least 5 or 6 people watch this.
That's good.
Yeah.
What is your hope for this vlog?
You know, the reason I do this vlog is because I have clients.
Vlog the Impaler.
Yes. I have clients that come in. Yeah, I have a lot of people that are just starting out. I have a lot of people that are successful actors, but people that come in, and one lady in particular came in, and she bought a huge package. We did great. The headshots turned out great.
Mhm.
I get them all done, give her the finished, touched up, retouched images, and she calls me up and she goes, "I really like them. I just wanted to thank you again." She goes, now what do I do?
Oh my God.
Yeah. And, you know, I
And
was
someone had
like,
told her that headshots, or you got to have headshots.
you got to have headshots. And she spent, you know, my big
And
package.
she hadn't done anything else?
And she had, you know, she'd taken acting classes. And I thought, you know, okay, this is a isolated situation, but it's not.
It's not. And actually, I feel like that every day after I, or at least after I've gotten a job. I'm supposedly working on some voiceovers coming up, but as far as right now, you're looking at an unemployed guy. And so every day I wake up and I go, well, now what do I do?
Exactly. And so I thought, you know what?
By the way, that's a great place to cut.
That's why we're here.
Yeah.
Is now what to do.
No, go on.
So no, but that's it. So I thought, you know what? I have the equipment here, and you know, Google owns YouTube, so it's not going to hurt my website placement. And you know, it's an opportunity for me to learn, because every time I talk to somebody, I learn something.
Yeah.
And hopefully I can encourage, inspire, and educate somebody that's, you know, I think there's a lot of scams out there. I think there's a lot of people that want to charge actors a lot of money.
Oh, yeah.
And this doesn't cost anybody anything. And if they get something out of it, awesome. If not, then they got to hang out with us, and we're really cool.
Yeah.
All right. So how are you on social media? Do you have lots of followers? You're not on Instagram, are you?
I might be, but I'm not even sure.
I
terrible.
tried to find you on Instagram, and if you are, you're under some alias that's a secret.
I'm really bad at this stuff. Maybe there's someone out there that can help me, but I have I got a website a long time ago. Actually, Dr. Quinn fans said, you know, you need a website. And she does my she lives in North Carolina. Judy Trest, put that right down there. I don't think she's in the market to do more websites now, but she does mine. And I was talking to the students at the University of Hawaii, and they asked me about getting into, you know, like, what do I do now? And I said, you know, the whole terrain has changed. It used to be, when I got here, a bunch of us theater people, well, casting directors would actually come to shows and see shows. What a concept. As far as I know, they don't anymore. There's maybe some that do. But I said, I think, and this is my niece, a wonderful actress named Maddie Wise, and her first episode on Crashing on HBO just aired. So she comes out of her academic program at Bard. She moves to Brooklyn. She and her theater friends start a theater company. It does well. They actually get the show done at I guess there's a second stage at the Public Theater in New York. Some manager sees her doing something. This is the key. She is doing something on some sort of webisode thing. I can't remember the name of it. He sees her and asks her to come in, and the rest is history. And then she takes Trump's speeches and she does them like a rich, spoiled, rich girl. Word for word, they're Trump's words, but she does them. Now, Judd Apatow, who's the producer of Crashing, sees this, loves it. Now, I don't know if that got her the job, but I've heard when she went in, she blew them away so much, they said, we're going to rewrite this for her.
Yeah.
Going to rewrite.
Wow.
And so she's in the show now, and she's really good. But now, as I say, the terrain has changed. If you want to get, you've got to have a media presence.
Yeah, you've got to be out there.
Maybe that's what I should do. Maybe I'd get more work then.
Maybe. Maybe you should start a YouTube channel, and we'll do a web series.
Yeah, maybe I should just show up at people's parties like Bill Murray, and with
Bill
Murray, they go, oh, my God, it's Bill Murray. With me, they'll go, sir, can I help you?
Do you have family we should call?
I think he is. I think he's a little crazy. He's washing our dishes.
Wait till he's finished. What I would say, wait till he's finished cleaning, then we'll find out.
But yeah, actors out there, social media is important. And I've heard that all things being equal, there's two young actors and one has 1 million Twitter followers and the other one doesn't. The one with 1 million
You know, I have a real issue with that, but I will say that for
I have a
another
real
day.
issue with that too, but
Yeah.
I mean, it should be based, yeah, but should, as my wife used to say, shoulda, woulda, coulda.
Instead of, oh, I'm going to let you promote my show for me, so I'll hire you because you're an influencer. But I'm not going to say anything about that.
Well, I mean, I can understand that if you've got
Yeah.
a low, not much money,
Yeah,
and you get someone who's willing to do it,
yeah,
who has a high social media presence, then I
Yeah.
can understand why they're doing that.
yeah. It makes sense from their point of view, but
But to me, it's all a brave new world.
it is.
And I'm not very good at it, and I know I should up my game on it. And maybe this interview will just like
Just
go viral. No, actually, I would have to like do something really crazy to go viral, which I'm not willing to do.
yeah. I appreciate that. I just all of a sudden got horrified, and then he said,
No, I'm not going to do that. I have my standards.
So, in the description below and across here, I'm going to put your website up
Right over there.
right over there. And
Oh,
you
yeah.
are on Facebook.
I am on Facebook. I do have I have a personal Facebook thing because a lot of fans will want to friend me on my personal Facebook page, and I used to do this. Maybe there's a way to do it. I would send them over to my actor thing, and people will write me. A guy wrote me yesterday on my actor Facebook page saying, "Did you buy me a ticket in London in 2008? I think it was you. You saved my life." I have no idea what he's talking about. But so, you know, you're supposed to answer all those people, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know, but yeah, I know you're supposed to do all that stuff. And Maddie, my niece, is
Yeah.
very into Instagram, but she posts stuff that's not necessarily about theater or her.
Right.
Or her.
Right.
She just posts stuff that she finds interesting.
Right.
But she has created a media presence.
Yeah, I'm the person that takes pictures of my food and posts it on Instagram. Not all the time, but I do that. There's food. In fact, the lemons that you guys brought made it to my Instagram page.
Yeah, I don't want people knowing that much about me. I'm surprisingly private.
So
This interview being the exception.
I appreciate it. I
Yeah.
appreciate you coming on. All right, guys. So make sure you subscribe to all of my social media, and
Right down there. There it is.
make sure that if you haven't, subscribe to YouTube. And most importantly, have an amazing day. I'll see you next week.
Nice talking to you.
It was great talking to you.